The person to my right, his name is Nicholas, and he spent almost $500,000 on Donald Trump's cryptocurrency and got to go to the White House because supposedly the top 220 investors of Donald Trump's meme coin were going to go to the White House, have dinner with Trump, have this great experience. Unfortunately for Nicholas, that experience was god awful. The food was terrible. Trump was there for like a minute. There was nothing to do. And this video is going pretty viral because it's hilarious to see Nick upset about this because it's like, come on. You probably should have seen this coming. So we're going to watch this video in a second. But first, I want to talk a little bit about this dinner at the White House. Donald Trump has a cryptocurrency that is directly tied to his net worth. Trump's family's net worth has increased by $2.9 billion, billion with a B, thanks to crypto investments, new report says. President Trump's venture into crypto products has increased his family's wealth by billions in the last 6 months, according to a new report, as his administration continues to loosen the federal government's regulatory approach to the digital currency industry as a whole. The group State Democracy Defenders Action estimated in a new report that the president's crypto holdings now represent nearly 40% of his net worth, or approximately $3 billion. That increase is due in part to his release of the Trumpcoin and Melaniacoin, the meme coins, in addition to a large stake in World Liberty Financial, a crypto exchange affiliated with the Trump family that launched in October of 2024. And so Donald Trump went on to invite the top 220 investors of his meme coin to dinner at the White House, which is the most brazen, just like outwardly corrupt thing we've probably ever seen in modern political history, right? You invest in Donald Trump's meme coin, potentially nobody knows who you are. You're just like shielded behind your crypto wallet. It's not a public thing. You're now directly tied to Trump's net worth. He's making money off you, and maybe he'll provide you favors. It's insane that more people aren't talking about this. This is Senator Chris Murphy's quote about this. It provides cover for the most corrupt, for the most compromised, for the worst of the worst who channel money to Donald Trump in order to get their private audience with him, in order to plead their case for favorable treatment from the federal government or for investment from the U.S. taxpayer. Murphy also pressed Secretary of State Marco Rubio during a Tuesday hearing on the potential for Trump's meme coin to be used as a tool for foreign influence. There's clearly a way around the State Department for foreign individuals of significant influence and wealth to be able to directly lobby the president. Absolutely. A lot of the people who showed up to this dinner were wearing masks. We don't even know who they were. The people we do know who were there, the top investor at this dinner was Justin Sun, a Chinese crypto billionaire who was sued by the SEC under Joe Biden's administration for allegedly inflating the value of a cryptocurrency. Mr. Sun is a major investor in a separate crypto venture largely owned by a company tied to Mr. Trump, World Liberty Financial. After Mr. Trump took office, the SEC asked a judge to put Mr. Sun's case on hold. Right. So Mr. Sun invested, I believe, around $20 million in Trump's meme coin, invested in World Liberty Financial, which is a company tied to Donald Trump, and now his SEC problems go away. It's pay to play. It's insane. Everybody should be out in the street screaming about this. Donald Trump cares about nobody but himself. When we look at the actual value of these coins, right? This is Trumpcoin. On January 21st, the day after his inauguration, it was $43. Right now, it's around $12. So I'm curious how much money Nicholas has lost. Probably quite a bit. Also, a lot of people don't know that Melania, the first lady, has a meme coin that started on that same day. Well, it was actually $8 on the 19th, the day before Trump's inauguration. By the 21st, it was up to $4, or it was down, I should say, $4, down to $4. It is now 30 cents. So if you invested $10,000 in Melaniacoin at this price of $4, it'd be worth around $600 right now, $650. Ouch, that's pretty rough. And you talk about not only it increases their net worth because they hold this coin, but they also make a bunch of money through the transactional fees of trading these coins. It's estimated that they've been paid, or the essentially creators of Trump's meme coin, which is basically just his businesses. Obviously, Donald Trump is the one profiting off this. They've made millions of dollars off these transactional fees of buying and selling. Insane, just insane, brazen corruption. Let's take a look at this video from Nicholas and see what his experience was like at Trump's meme coin dinner.
If you guys don't know, I was number 72 on the Trumpcoin leaderboard. It cost me $480,000, and this is all I got at the event. This hat they gave away to pretty much everyone. They had 220 bags, and that's pretty much all I got. I just got to the Trump dinner. Trump came, gave a speech for, I think, exactly 23 minutes. And then he left. His helicopter was right back there. Left pretty quickly. Didn't stay for the dinner. Maybe he'll come back, you never know. Anyway, the food's coming out now. I gotta go. He gave us this card, and inside of it is this. Number 9. Okay.
That's it. That's it. He had dinner without Donald Trump. He got a tour of the White House, which you can do publicly. And he got a hat and this cool thing. Couldn't have seen that coming, Nicholas. You know, Donald Trump screwed you over. Really? Nicholas also said that, quote, the food sucked, wasn't given any drink other than water or Trump's wine. I don't drink, so I had water. My glass was only filled once. Trump made only a brief appearance, he said. He didn't talk to any of the 220 guests, maybe the top 25. Oh, Nicholas, next time you got to give Trump another $500,000. Maybe he'll get up on the leaderboard. All in, the president was there for 23 minutes. Trump delivered a brief address, rehashing old crypto talking points, then left on a helicopter before taking any questions or pictures with his Memecoin contest winners. Phones weren't locked in RFID pouches and security was laxed, according to Nicholas. Once Trump left, they didn't really worry about anything else. And here's again, you saw in the video, Luggy Nicholas, he got to write his name on the board, which was probably erased right after that and thrown away. But the vibe was a lot more muted than expected. Lots of people didn't even hold the coin anymore. They were checking their phones during dinner to see if the price moved. Well, right after this dinner, the price actually fell another 15% because everyone got word that the dinner sucked. So, I mean, poor Nicholas probably lost even more money. And again, we already talked about the number one token holder, who is Justin Sun, who was previously being sued by the SEC. It's just embarrassing, right? If we also go on Twitter, I'll do this live for you too while we're talking. The actual food sucked. Sucked. If I just look up Trump dinner on Twitter, scroll down, let's see. Look at this. This was a picture on Twitter. I'm going to zoom out for you. Look at that. Wow. Paid $500,000 for this. I actually believe one of Nicholas's quotes was that it was like Walmart steak. That's what he called it. Ouch. $500,000 dinner right here. It's pay to play. So you just increase Donald Trump's net worth. But if you're like not, cool enough, if you didn't give him 20 million, you only gave him $500,000, then he just gives you a nice pat on the back. You got a cool hat. And then he's like, get the hell out of the White House. It's embarrassing. Like, Nicholas, I don't know what to tell you, dude. You probably should have seen this coming. You should have seen this coming. Now, regardless of some of the laughable features of this, the fact that, people like Nicholas were so gullible to fall for this, it actually is like the most brazen corruption, I'll say it again, we've ever seen in American history. Okay, Bob Woodward coined the phrase "democracy dies in darkness," which became the Washington Post tagline. But the investigative journalist Bob Woodward, who's very famous for exposing corruption in the Nixon administration, the Trump administration, wrote a great book about Joe Biden, used to argue that essentially the reason it was so important for him to, try to get access to the White House to write these books as a journalist was because we're going to lose our democracy at the very top. Someone's going to be, the president's going to be meeting with someone in the shadows, be so corrupt, and it's going to start to break our democracy. Well, now democracy dies out in the open because this is insane. Pay to play. I hope more people talk about this. I hope if we keep pressuring the right people, that Republican officials, Republican senators, Republican Congress people will really start to feel the pressure and talk about this. We all just got to give them a call. We all got to make sure we're out there in the streets yelling, screaming about this, not letting it go. Because this guy, we need to move on. from what's objectively the worst president in US history. I appreciate you watching this video. If you're here from Adam Mockler's channel, you guys have shown so much love lately. I appreciate it so much from the bottom of my heart. You guys all rock. I hope you're having a good weekend, and I just can't say enough how much I love you and I appreciate you. I will see you in the next video.